Hello, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen here, and we're going live here. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and we'll see who comes in today. And we're really excited to for the future. It's the beginning of the new year, and I'm wearing one of my Chronic shirts here for Chronic Solutions, and maybe we'll get Joe Chronic to come in today from Chronic Magazine, and that would be epic. And we're really excited to be on YouTube, on let's see, Roku, and Facebook kicked us off because of the robots getting their grips on marijuana. And I saw a granny smoking a bong on my site the other day, and they still kicked me off. So let's see if we can get reinstated and safe and secure. I want everybody this year to feel wanted and loved and warm in the winter because it's winter time and it's not snowing here, but it could. It could. So watch your P's and Q's. Delete all the crap and get all the crap out of your house and start to just think about the future and what's coming up here. And I'm getting ready for my art shows and to go back to Peru. I've been asked to go back to Peru, so let's kick that one in and love you up, everybody. And it's really important to stay grounded and importantly share my screen here for you. Let's do that. Let's share my screen with you all. Entire screen here. Boom. Okay, so we're sharing our screen right now. There we go. And we're going to bring back my Zoom chat. There we go. So it's Jeff Eichen here on Weeds Day episode 293. Everybody that's been asked to come in has been asked to come in. We'll see who shows up. And let's get busy and share my screen here. And hopefully you can hear me. My little microphone icon is going bananas right now. So let's see if we can give you an intro here. So I'm going to share my screen with you all. Cowboy time here. We'll give you some Howie Hobart later, and let's make this a little bit bigger here for a beautiful resolution. It's my show today, episode 293. We're on our way to 300, everybody. So it's going to be a fantastic year. Go Lakers, go Homers, which is the Seattle Seahawks, and here we go. Happy New Year, everybody. It's the beginning of the year. Thank you, everybody, for joining me in my plant medicine journey to Peru. And the retreat we did with Essence of Being was fantastic. And our show last week was fantastic. Everybody showed up, supported it, and had a ride. So maybe I'll get a little bit of that in today. But it's all about plant medicine, and nobody should be in jail for a plant. So Joe Chronic might come on from Chronic Magazine and let us know how he's doing and collaborating with me on my next film called Through My Lens. Good afternoon, everybody. It's episode 293, and we're really excited to be still activating the concert in Oakland Coliseum. So use that QR code, donate to us, come be involved. And Weeds Day, we support decriminalization, bringing the prisoners home. We support you and your family if you have somebody in jail, and nobody should be in jail for a plant. And remember, MAGA stands for the Grateful Dead. Make America grateful again. Thank you. Enjoy your show.
So this is what I'm doing with the new campaign. The new campaign, we have established a new fundraiser.
Okay.
And which I'm going to send it to you on for Lifers movie. That's your thing on Instagram, right?
Lifers the movie is Instagram, yes.
You can change that. Sign the petition, raise your voice, and Edwin Rubis has spent decades behind bars for a non-violent marijuana conviction. While the world moves forward, he's still locked up for a plant. Together, we can change that. Sign the petition, raise your voice, and Edwin Rubis has spent decades behind bars for a non-violent marijuana.
I'm Edwin Rubis. I'm serving a 40-year sentence for a non-violent cannabis charge.
Join thousands demanding his freedom. Sign the petition, share his story.
No one should be in prison for
I'm a breed that every night I hold on to these bars and wonder if they remember the man I was before them. I made mistakes, but the sky don't belong to mistakes. One day, I'm a breed that.
Oh, I'm working for you, man. I love you. And so at the count of three, 1, 2, 3.
Hello, my name is Edwin Rubis, and I wanted to say hello to everybody. I am still in prison. I'm still serving 40 years for a non-violent marijuana crime. I have been in prison for 28 years, and I need your assistance and I need your help. My family has established a new fundraiser. It's on GoFundMe. My brother is going to provide you the link.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to Edwin. Nobody should be in jail for a plant, for marijuana. We need to end prohibition and bring Edwin home. Help Edwin. Send $100. Send 1,000. We need to get me to fly out there and to help Edwin come home once and for all and end prohibition. He is a monster, beautiful human, and not a monster, but he acts like it with a big freaking heart that could slay the dragon. So let's slay the dragon, which is the man that put him in the first place. This shouldn't have never happened. I love you, Edwin.
Okay, love you too, brother.
Okay.
So I'm going to send you the link.
Okay, love you, man. Let's get me there. I love you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Parade. This is Tommy Chong for Lifers Madness.
To end this war on people.
Parade.
We even have a jingle, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen here with episode 293. And it's so important to realize the empathy we need on the planet for everybody. The people in the cold and winter time. Everybody, is this thing on? Yes. Tap, tap, tap. I think we're going to have a wonderful show today. We're going to welcome home Stash Wagner family. Don't bogart that joint from the Philippines. Thank you. And don't forget to donate to their cause and welcoming them home fund. So that's cool. We have a nice GoFundMe site for them. And everybody else in the universe, let's end prohibition today. And let's not forget Jack Herer, the father of the movement. Oh, my Papa and Baja, I miss you. Check this out.
Hello, everyone. I am the real Rick Simpson, and I want to make it clear to everyone that I am still alive and kicking. And if you go out on the internet, there's many sites out there that are talking about me passing away many years ago now, which is obviously is a pack of lies. I'm still quite alive, and I'm still here. So I have been out of the mainstream since 2018, when I suffered the stroke. Has made it very difficult for me to travel and do the events I used to do in the past. So I just want everyone to know that I'm still here and I'm still fighting for to set cannabis free. And that in turn will set the human race free. So I hope you all support my efforts. Cannabis is the greatest plant on this earth, and it should be used properly. And don't believe all that negative propaganda that has been forced upon us over the last 100 years or so. It's all based on a pack of lies. Cannabis never harmed anyone. As a matter of fact, it gives mankind a future. In the past, I have put out 2 books, The Phoenix Tears, The Rick Simpson Story, and Rick Simpson Oil, Nature's Answer for Cancer. And at the present time, my wife and I are working on another book to bring everyone up to date about what's happened since 2012. The first book takes you to 2012 and what had gone on up to that point. So I think the next book people will find it very interesting. I've traveled to several different countries now, doing events, and so the next book will be describing what's going on since 2012. But due to all the scammers out there now, I intend to have more presence in social media. In the near future, I'll be putting out more information. We have to stop these scammers because they're causing a lot of harm and they're discrediting the use of this wonderful medicine. The link to my authentic social media accounts can be found on my website, phoenixtears.ca. So you want the real information, or you want to find the real site, that's where to go to get the information to find it.
Happy parade.
I hate those.
Oh, Merry Christmas. Oh, Jeff. You've been so naughty this year that I brought you something I know you'll absolutely hate. It's a whole pack of anti-legalization bumper stickers.
Oh, no, I hate those.
Oh, Merry Christmas. Oh, Jeff.
The hemp car is here. And Schedule 3 is something we can't disguise. But I want to share some information with you about Schedule 3 here. Let's see if I can stop sharing my site for a second. Yeah, so Schedule 3. Let's get into it. I'm going to go actually behind the scenes here and get a download from my friend here on my messenger. Steve Kravitz, who's a really incredible human, he said that let's see here. He told me on somewhere on his blog here. I wonder if he did it in Messenger or just on Facebook. But let's see here. He said, I'm clicking on his, so this information cannot be shown on Facebook. So that means that they're definitely blocking down on some of the marijuana stuff. But Steve said nobody is talking about, let's see if we can find his Steve Kravitz. S-T-E-V-E Kravitz. There he is on top. So let's see if he said it. Institution of New Zealand. Trump administration, turning point, top, 10 things your father never knew. So I'm looking for something that he posted recently that maybe I saved it. Maybe I saved it over in my notes here, because often I will put something in my notes for Weed Weezy. And I think I did. Let's see here. Rakers had episode 293. Okay, I've been asking around and have not yet got an answer in the big, beautiful Trump bill, which was passed a few months ago. There was put at last minute a law which, as November of 26, all products from hemp or cannabis plants except for CBD will be illegal, not matter what state or laws are. No one seems to be looking at this. What the hell, Steve Kravitz? So let's see if we can actually find Steve Kravitz. Maybe we can call him. Let's see here. Steve Kravitz. Let's see if we can find Steve Kravitz. Let's see here. So Steve Kravitz here. We're trying to get Steve.
Steve Kravitz here. I appreciate your call. Unfortunately, I'm not here to take it. If you would, please just leave your name and number, and I'll call you back as soon as possible. Again, thank you for calling.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Mr. K, it's Jeff Eichen. Steve, we want to know more about what you know about, no seeds, no weeds, no CBD. So give a call back to this phone number or to my show. Step on in, and we'd love to see you. And Happy New Year or Happy New Year, and give a shout. Thank you for all you do. Okay, bye-bye. So that was Steve Kravitz, everybody. We're going to carry on with our show, and let's see here. So it'd be really fun to have you join us. And we have Grasshopper coming in.
Jeffrey.
We have a surprise visit, everybody, from Mr. Para. I've told you before, everybody, welcome, Happy New Year, Rodimus.
Thank you.
I've shared everybody with you before. This is baby Grasshopper,
Not a baby anymore.
As a grown up and a full-fledged 60-year-old. So we're navigating the whole era of our life right now. We're looking back on it. We're looking forward on it, everybody. You just heard me speak about Steve Kravitz. So I want to share with you something that I read about Steve Kravitz as the next thing that we're dealing with today, Rodimus. And thank you for coming on, and Happy New Year.
Yeah, my pleasure to be here.
So it says, I've been asking around as we got a real answer in the big, beautiful Trump bill, which was passed a few months ago back. There was put in the last minute a law which, as of November of 2026, which is a year from now, all products from hemp and cannabis plants, except for CBD, will be illegal. Not matter of what state laws are. No one seems to be talking about this. Steve Kravitz. What the hell? And I've been talking about it. Vivi and I knew, and same with Chris Boucher, some of my homeboys here, that in a year, we've got a year to sell all of our products that have Delta 9 or even CBD in them, and they're going to ban seeds. They're going to ban, it's just fucked up. And so we just can't seem to win.
So in other words, does that mean that all industrial hemp products are also going to be off the table?
I don't think so. I don't think that the hemp car, which is made out of hemp plastic, which is like, this is hemp plastic. I mean, come on, that's hemp plastic.
So that's not going away.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to affect that because the hemp bill was pretty clean, but it wanted to get rid of Delta 9. And Delta 9 was something that people like, and we're not dissing them, but people like the Tommy Chong people and other people that were buying into selling products made from Delta 9, which is made from hemp. But as Chris Boucher would explain to us, because he's a clean hempster, he grew the first hemp in America legally. He says that Delta 9 is made from hemp, but there's no marijuana. There's no active ingredients or THC in hemp when you grow it right. It's 0.03%. Okay, they're going to change the law where it has to be 0, and so that's going to screw everybody up that has millions of seeds to sell, because that's what he does. He grows seeds and sells them all over. And
okay, so I'm going to pretend, and in some ways I kind of am, to be like a lay person who doesn't really understand the nuances of this law and what that changes. Does that mean I won't be able to walk into a dispensary and purchase my favorite strain of medicine?
Well, if we had Steve Kravitz on, he might be able to explain it more. And I don't have it pulled up today. As what I know and what Steve Kravitz just said, when Steve Kravitz said there was put in the last minute a law in November of 26, all products from hemp or cannabis plants, except for CBD, will be illegal no matter what state laws are. And he says nobody seems...
Okay. I don't see much change happening because from what I understand, individual states are allowed to create their own laws. So for example, Colorado, right? California and Colorado were the first 2 states, from my understanding.
And Washington.
Who legalized, recreational use. Okay, so first was California with medicinal use, and I believe it might have been Colorado was the first recreational use state. But anyway, that was several years ago, quite a while ago. So, and even back then, the federal law, it was Schedule 1, right? So now that it's Schedule 3, that shouldn't change anything for states like, Washington and California and Colorado. Maybe that's why we're not hearing as much about it, because it's not like making people go, I won't be able to go to the dispensary. Nobody's panicking.
The new hemp bill does state that you can't do Delta 9 anymore. In a year, you have to sell all. What it's going to do is it's going to get rid of all the beverages. And those are multi-million-dollar companies that are making CBD and a little bit of THC beverages that are sodas that get you high.
Right. So those, if there's millions of dollars there, Jeffrey, I'm going to suggest that those people have the, money to pay for an attorney to go to Washington or lobby a lobbyist and say, you're going to have to make an exemption to these sodas that are already part of the culture. They're doing quite well. They aren't hurting anybody. And, we're making millions of dollars, and we'll pay you more taxes if you want. But, don't stop us from selling these sodas. Well, I mean, that's what I would do if I was an entrepreneur or owned one of those companies.
Do you remember my T-shirt that I had that said marijuana safer than alcohol?
I don't, but I've known
that's the original shirt that I got like in 1995.
Right. So your point is it's safer.
My point is that alcohol's legal. It's a beverage. Why not allow the cannabis beverages or the hemp beverages to stay on board?
That's a great argument. And I think that's the argument that these people, the entrepreneurs who have these multi-million-dollar businesses, I think they're going to make that point very clearly, like you just said. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's going to take a year for all this to shake down. So a lot can happen in the year.
Everybody, you heard it first here on Weeds Day. Let's freaking wait. Let's blow the horn to get everybody active. Don't wait for insurrection. Don't wait to go down and get Maduro. Everybody get this going who is a beverage company and that can do it responsibly. You know, I think that's the key.
So I came on here this evening because I didn't know who your guests were going to be. I didn't know what your agenda was. I know you've got a show planned, and forgive me for me, throwing a tiny little wrench into that for a minute, because I wanted to come on here tonight and talk about my best friend, Jeffrey Eichen. And, I want to say about this guy Jeffrey, with the great hair. I wish he would show his hair more. Jeffrey, Jeffrey has been trying to get this concert going, he's been trying. Jeffrey has spent, this is my dear friend who's sitting here behind this green screen, or in front of this green screen. He's been trying for years to free the prisoners from jail, the non-violent cannabis offenders in quotes, people who were thrown in jail because of something to do with selling, transporting, using marijuana, sometimes a third strike from maybe some other unfortunate illegal activity they might have been doing, and then they sold a bag of weed, and now they're in jail for life. Some of them are in for life.
Recording in progress.
So what's amazing to me is that all these years that Jeff has been talking about this and has been trying to get the word out, has made a wonderful documentary about it, and screened it in many places around the country. How I'm shocked that more people haven't jumped on this wonderful bandwagon, this beautiful vision of a concert with all kinds of cool things planned. And, Jeff and I have talked about this for a while, and he has got some fantastic ideas how to get the whole audience to participate in this sort of communal experience and have some really wonderful musical artists and other performance artists come on stage, do a couple of songs, do a couple of things, tell a couple of jokes, and entertain 100,000 people at Oakland Coliseum and get the word out, because a lot of people don't realize that there are so many people languishing in jail, doing nothing but twiddling their thumbs and writing letters and calling occasionally their loved ones who are going, how much longer? I don't know, mama, I don't know, sister, I don't know, sweetheart, I don't know, brother, how long I'm going to have to sit in here for this stupid thing. And their lives are wasting away. These are good people. They're not a danger to society. No, they're not. And they need to be freed. And Jeffrey has been trying, hello, he's been yelling in every corner and trying to get people on board to get this concert done. And it's like, what the heck, it needs to happen. And I just want to say that, this man, Jeffrey Eichen, has been sitting here week after week after week. I don't know, is this 250 shows? How many have you got now, Jeff?
We're on 293.
293 episodes.
In a row. I didn't even miss it when I went to Peru.
So these 293 consecutive shows, about an hour and a half long, with all he's trying to do is get the word out, not only for him, the thing that he wants to do with the concert, which is his vision, it's beautiful, but also just all the other things related to hemp and to the laws and the people who are also working. There's other people out there working to free the prisoners, but nobody has this concert idea, and that would be a very nice cross-promotional, cross-involved with some of these other people who are have money, who have access to the White House, who have access to donors, large companies who are in the hemp business, who've given donations to these companies to help promote this idea of getting the prisoners out of jail, who provide things for them to munch on at the commissary, money spend while in jail. There's a lot of people doing stuff, but it hasn't been coordinated together to create a movement of saying, hey, next time you light up that joint, know that you have the freedom to do that in your home or even on the street. And yet there's people sitting behind bars who are doing no worse than that, so anyway, that's what I wanted to say. And that's why I'm here tonight with you, Jeffrey. Oh, where'd you go? There he is.
So I'm excited to have a few cheerleaders on the sidelines as we're going towards the goal, everybody, which is 42,000 for 420 people at the Oakland Coliseum. You all know that 2 years ago I went with three beautiful ladies to be at my booth and to walk with me into the Coliseum. The lady opened the door, everybody. She opened the door to the Coliseum, and there was these glass doors, and we went in, and then we went in through some more glass doors, and we went in through a third glass door, and there was the Coliseum. I mean,
that's kind of like the beginning. Remember how the title sequence for the old series Get Smart? He keeps going through all these different doors.
Well, we weren't in the cone of silence, but there was only people that were in the stadium were the guys that were raking the baseball diamond with the little rake. You know, they pull that little cord and
they were like doing Zen, like a Zen garden.
Yeah, and they were cleaning. And I was looking down, and I had my iPhone, and I turned around and I filmed myself saying, "Everybody, we're going to make this happen," and I was weeping, you know, and I was visualizing, you know, as I'm doing the plant medicine movie now, and I'm going back to Peru in September, and I've got Joe Chronic from Chronic Magazine, everybody, who's supposed to be on today, but he's just totally on my team, and and Mike Tyson's on the cover of his magazine. So come on, everybody, let's just pop this baby out. But as I'm doing that, I'm visualizing through the plant medicine world, through the marijuana, which is plant medicine, the ayahuasca, the iboga, the peyote, and everything else that is natural. I am visualizing that stadium filled with people, young people that are going to come after us, and elders that are celebrating making a restitution fund to put away to give to the prisoners when they come home so they can buy a house, you know, and they can start their life again because they've been in jail for you and me. And Rodimus told me, this is Rodimus, everybody, right here, my buddy Rodimus for, God, 40, 50 years, you know, we were in John Travolta's plane, and I was hanging on with the Hasselblad, photographing him, jumping out for, you know, what was the name of that? That was Leap of Faith. Leap of Faith. Leap of Faith. No, let me keep going. Let me keep going. So
February 29th. Yeah.
So as I'm giving you the back history of me and Rodimus and how tight we are, I trust this man with my life. I trust this man with my wife, you know, which I don't have, you know, and I trust this man with all the strife, you know, and I want to stick it all in the pipe, you know, and I want to blow this out. I'm going to play for you guys a song in a minute that I made with Howie Hobart this weekend, and that's going to open up your heart, everybody. He's got a year left to live, but nevertheless, these prisoners are in jail too. If Howie's got a year to live and he's sharing with me his world through music, I want to take music and allow that to be the medicine that connects us to the millions of people that don't know about this problem that we have. It's not about Gaza. It's not about Russia. It's not about anywhere else on the planet that they're having a problem with being in balance with love and with Woodstock. But that's what we want to do. We want to do a concert relief aid that brings money for the prisoners, for the lawyers to help to end prohibition. And if we can't end prohibition in our lifetime because there are still people attached to reefer madness, then guess what? We will at least make restitution and millions of dollars to pay these people and their families for being in jail for all this time. Come back to Howie Hobart. The music we'll play for you in a minute. He's got a year left, is what the doctors say, because his heart is broken. And there's 18 stents or something in there. You know, Russell was down for 13 minutes 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 days ago. His heart stopped again, and he's
Russell?
been on my
Oh, no.
show, and he's been on my show many times. But his pacemaker kicked in, and he's still with us. So the deal is that where is jail? Where is your jail? Is it PTSD? Did your child get killed before you, or die from a syndrome, or from the world not being nice? A concert's going to be bitching, everybody. So come to us, and Mike Tyson and Joe Chronic Magazine, come to us. We want to collaborate once and for all. And all of the people that have been on the sidelines getting prisoners home, Last Prisoner Project, the Can Do Foundation with Amy Pova, Freedom Grow with Randy Lanier and all of his people, all of them, and 40 Tons, drop your drawers and come in, and let's have a sauna, and then come out and do the concert. Because then we'll do it at JFK Stadium, then we'll do it in Brazil, then we'll do it in Portugal, wherever it's legal. We'll make it more super legal, and we'll just fly in, we'll pack the stadium, and everyone will go home and go, yeah, they know where to send the money to. So these people that were in jail for 30 years, we'll pay them back for that time that they were off the grid, off the money grid, you know. And Rodimus himself, you know, we can't wait to high five you in real life, and we're so blessed to have you on. I mean, I would have pulled this show by myself today, but Noah couldn't come on, and Joe Chronic didn't show up, and I don't take it personal. I'm gonna do the fifth agreement here one of these days. And what's the fifth agreement, Rodimus? It's when you get your brain on tight and you become your authentic self. It's about listening, everybody, to your heart. I told my girlfriend, I will call her my girlfriend, Mariana Madonna. I will tell you that I told her to drop out of her head and into her heart. And we watched the movie Eat, Pray, Love, and the guy gave her a drawing. The guy in Bali, he said, "Here's a picture for you." And she put it in her book, and she left and went back to America, and she opened it up, and it was a picture of a guy with no head, and his eyes were in the heart, and it was a cartoon. His eyes were down here, and he had no head. And he says, "Drop into your heart." And so it was a cute cartoon. So at the end of the movie, she went back to Bali to meet him. And he said, "I don't remember you. Who are you?" And they're sitting down on a blanket, you know. And she opens up the paper and she shows it to him, of the guy with no head and a heart, a cartoon on a piece of parchment. And he goes, "Oh, it's you. It's you. It's you. I love you. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah." And so the memories we have of joy, of being a child, before we found out that Santa wasn't real, or that marijuana was...
What? Whoa. What?
When we found out that...
Wait. No. Wait, I thought I heard you just say that Santa wasn't real. I must have misheard you.
No, I meant the Tooth Fairy.
Oh, yeah, Tooth Fairy, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, you know, when I had Cheech and Chong on my show a couple of years ago, we couldn't get a word in edgewise, because they were telling stories about meeting each other in Canada at the, you know, at the stripper bar, you know. So Rodimus and I are here at the stripper bar, taking our clothes off so we can be clean and clear with our conscience that we want to make a concert, everybody, for the prisoners, and start Woodstock again. Woodstock was bitching, and we just lost a couple people that were bitching. 2 people from KISS just left the planet, you know, but they did their job. Let's do our job, everybody, which Micaiah, my ex-partner, which I still love and adore, she said, when you turn work into play is when you win. You know, wait here. I got a button on my camera
Auto
here.
framing on.
So now I got auto framing. It's just like, whoa, whoa. So everybody, I've got Howie Hobart in the. Do you have time to listen to a Howie Hobart video?
Heck yeah.
Okay, heck yeah. Okay, I love having Rodimus on my show. Hang on. Love you, bro.
Love you too.
Everybody, the heart that I have for this gentleman right here, take it to dinner tonight and have that for everybody. I even talked to my sister today, you know, and
nice.
I told her what was up, you know.
Yay.
There was no blasphemy on that one. Freddie Blasphemy. Remember Freddie Blassie? Freddie Blassie was it was like a vaudeville dude, you know, and he would come out, you know, and a bag of trips. You know, what do I got in the box tonight? You know, I'm on a roll.
I remember soda. I remember soda. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so here. So I'm gonna we'll reminisce some more in a second. Well, I'm gonna share this Howie Hobart video that I made. Everybody enjoy this, and Rodimus in the background. You can tell me if you got sound or not. Okay, so I'm gonna go boom, 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 and you can see my screen, Rodimus.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. So here's Howie Hobart, everybody. Gentleman I met about 2 years ago was going to buy my motorhome with his wife so they could live in a motorhome, and they didn't, and they got a house on a ranch. And Mariana Madonna and I went there last Saturday, and here's what happened.
This is Jeff Eichen. We're with Howie Hobart. Some cosmic order of us meeting each other at my GMC motorhome a couple of years ago, and Howie found me again. He's a songwriter and musician. I'm going to let him tell his story. And welcome, Howie. That's really good seeing you. Yeah, that's my dad's name, so that's really cool. I'm really blessed to be with Howie today. Howie, tell us a little bit about your backstory and what's going on in your life right now.
I'm pausing this for a second. Notice he's got Coca-Cola and Marlboros. So Howie's going out the way he wants to go out.
We know that
what?
Fast forward to the song.
Howie's got to tell a story. Hang on.
That time keeps on slipping into the future. Howie Hobart, a musician and a songwriter. He's an angel on earth. Howie was told recently he has 1 year left on his journey on the planet. We found each other cosmically, and now we are making art together. Enjoy his poetry through music. Love and light.
We got started. I was playing one day and recording a song, and I got prodded to put it out there and go public with it. And so that's what I did with the first song. I went public with it. Like I said, at the suggestion of my wife and friends and family. I didn't expect the reaction that I had. It just blew me away, you know. And so I just kept on writing, and it was through the writing that I got to meet other performers and artists, and it's just been an amazing ride. As a songwriter, you may hear something a certain way that you're putting it down on paper and try to, you know, do it yourself. But it's so amazing when you hear somebody else's take on it, you know, right off the lyrics without any music to it at all. And they put their own vibe to it. And it just, it's a Funky Valley High, and it's every bit of 11, yes, sir. In fact, old friends and stuff, they'll tell other friends, well, I knew him, you know, when he was 9 or 10, 11 years old, and he wrote this, and I still got a couple of things that he wrote and stuff, and it just, you know, it really affects you.
Who inspired you as a child?
Play the song.
I can't really say one.
Okay, it's coming.
Individual. It's like it's a.
I mean, was it a teacher or or a family member that were different?
A family member,
musicians?
actually, yeah.
Okay.
My grandfather played guitar, and that's where I started.
I'll do what Rodimus says because he's my buddy. Here we go. You ready? This is my day with Howie, everybody.
Got it.
Woke up this morning with the sun in my face. Barefoot in the soft grass, what a perfect place. Blue sky stretching out like a canvas so wide. Watching the clouds drift by, taking life in stride. Fingerprints on the glass from the kids running wild. Laughter echoes through the house, so it's worth every mile. Grandma's sweet tea, sitting chilling on the porch. Feels like heaven on earth when we gather round for a torch. It's the simple things that make me feel alive, like the sound of crickets and the stars at night. The warmth of a hug and the love we share in this little slice of heaven. I know God is there. Road and swing creaking as I sway in the breeze. Thoughts drifting slow like the rustling leaves. The chatter of the neighbors, everyone's a friend. These moments we hold on to, they never have to end. Sunsets turning gold as the day starts to fade. Memories wrapped in twilight like a warm, sweet serenade. With each cup of coffee and every drink we toast, it's the simple things in life that mean the very most. It's the simple things that make me feel alive, like the sound of crickets and the stars at night. The warmth of a hug and the love we share in this little slice of heaven. I know God is there. So here's to the moments that last all our days. In this dance of life we find our own ways. With a heart full of grace and eyes that can see, it's the simple things in life that set our spirits free.
What a sweet guy and what a sweet voice, man. Amazing. I'm not a country fan, but you know what? When a song like that happens, I'm a country fan. It's like amazing.
So everybody, that was Howie Hobart. I'm going to come back to my dear friend Rodimus here, And here we are. Here we are. It was really a blessing to reconnect with Howie. He's got 1 year to live on this planet. Noah, who I talked to yesterday, was going to come on today, but he's not here today.
I think he's going to beat that. I think he's going to beat that. I can't see it happening in a year, Jeffrey.
Oh, I know, but the doctors always are cautious.
I've heard. I'm not.
Right.
I've heard people be given those kind of death sentences, and they go on for 5 or 10 years more. It's like, yeah.
Well,
anyway.
what inspired me was David Bowie and Warren Zevon when they were both diagnosed with cancer. They both brought everybody from Bob Dylan to John, whoever. All their buddies came in and they made their last album, and so that was really cool. So I just decided to take the 1.5-hour drive. He's local, and got my girlfriend in the car, and we just went right there and spent.
The guy's got a golden voice. That voice is like one of the purest, sweetest sounding voices, and he knows how to use it. His phrasing is just
that's his writing. That wasn't his voice, or he would have sang it. No, he would have sang it. He would have sang it. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
He gives his music to other people, and they sing it.
Good. Well, yeah. Well, that's the person who sang that did a very good job with it, and that's a lovely song with an incredibly good message. And I'm so happy that
sitting on the porch with grandma, smoking on a torch, and so who
is the singer? Who is the singer?
I'm not sure who sang that song for him. But we'll find out when we do the credits.
Yeah, that would be fair. That'd be fair.
I dig it. So I don't believe it's AI. I don't think AI is that good yet.
Oh yes, it is.
Oh
actually.
No! Oh no!
Yeah. I hate to tell you that it's that good. That good.
Oh no!
It could have been.
And guess what? If it is, it's fine. It's his choice to use a brush any way he does, because it's heartfelt.
High five on that.
Yeah, because I'm not afraid of AI, and when I use AI, I put it on my my pictures. I say Jeff Eichen copyright plus AI eagle when I put an eagle in my shot.
There you go.
So everybody just Hal saying Daisy, Daisy. So the computer's
that's a pretty obscure reference for people who've never seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, but that's what that reference was.
Yeah. So I was writing the other day a letter to somebody on the planet Earth, and I said, I'm tired of sitting in front of Hal. I want the real thing. And that's kind of what Delta 9's about. When I talked to Chris Boucher, he says it's made in the laboratory. It's not the real CBD. It's not the real marijuana, everybody. And so they're killing Delta 9, which is fine because the children don't need to get it at 7-Eleven. Okay. And again, my reference to Tommy Chong and those people, they were just taking advantage of the loophole and of an opportunity to make some money. But Rodimus told me years ago on this show, we're not free making millions of dollars. Can you finish my sentence? As an entrepreneur, while there's...
I was saying that, the entire cannabis industry, the karma cannot be clean until every nonviolent prisoner is out of jail who was convicted for some marijuana offenses. That's the dirty, dark side of, well, there are a couple other ones too, but that's a really bad one. The dark side of this industry is that there are people in jail. It's like people are profiting and making, lots and lots of money selling weed and weed related products. And it's like, but there's still people languishing in prison who their families are devastated. These are people who these convictions have caused hardship and pain and sorrow and dysfunction and trauma for so many more people than just that one person sitting in jail. Like I said earlier, that person is a brother, father, son, spouse of someone else, and their relatives. And so yeah, it's like, it's so pointless. It's so, there's the punishment does not fit the crime, because there was no crime. There was just selling a natural growing plant to another person who wanted to experience nature's beauty in that way, as a medicine, as a relief from suffering, whether it's physical pain or emotional pain. There's so many good applications for these natural plant-based medicines that why they're illegal is beyond me. I personally have been to several Native American church ceremonies where the sacrament of peyote was administered by a roadman, person who is trained in the ancient, a Native American who's trained in the ancient.
Wait, did you say road man?
Roadman. That's a roadman is a person who is allowed by the government to transport the sacrament of peyote across state lines to perform ceremonies under the church, the Native American Church, which is an organization, and he's a card-carrying member of the Native American Church, which allows him to do that, allows him to bring the medicine to a gathering of people who are there to be involved in the Native American Church. And there's a entirely all night long ceremony. Starts about 6 in the evening, and it goes till 8, 9 in the morning. And it's a very ritualized. There's all kinds of sections to the whole evening, and part of it is ingesting this peyote, which is from a very small area between New Mexico and
that's a cactus.
It's a cactus between the Mexican and Texas border. There's these beautiful gardens, and a little peyote button takes years and years to grow. It's something that is, not just like grows on. It's not like marijuana. It doesn't grow like marijuana. It takes years for a peyote button to develop, and that is harvested in a respectful way, and then brought into these ceremonies. So anyway, my point is, there are plants out there that have been around since the beginning of time and the beginning of human culture. People have found out how to use these things to become more in contact with the universe, with a higher spirit, with great spirit, as it's referred to in the peyote ceremonies of the Native American Church, and to just chill, to get present, get healing energy drawn to oneself, so that life is stressful, life is full of difficult things, and there's traumas and things that are happening to relatives and the people you love, and to be able to gather together in prayer in these ceremonies like that one, and to just be by yourself and maybe just do a little CBD just to chill some muscle pain or a headache or something that's going on, just to relax from the stress of everyday life. These are things that should not be denied anyone, and these are things that are put here for us to be able to benefit from. So it's just beyond me why we're even having to talk about this, but I'm glad.
It'd be nice to now that I'm hooking up with do you remember I shared with you that excuse me. I'm gonna get a drink here. Hang on.
This is a photograph that Jeffrey took recently in Peru of a ceremony, a medicinal ceremony that he was privileged to be invited to and given permission to document for us to be able to see. Jeffrey did the lighting there in the background. There's of course a fire pit, and this is just a still image of a video that he's recently produced as well. And I'm not exactly sure what the exact medicine here is, but you can talk about that, Jeffrey.
Thank you so much. I was just going to share with you that I think I described to you off air about my project in Peru, and the day or two before I left, this guy from Colorado called me and said, I'm going to be photographing a shaman, number 12 in the world, or whatever. He had a number for this guy, 300 miles from you, but at the same time. And I'm flying this guy out from Norway or Sweden, whatever, to film it, Jeffrey, and he wants to honor me with that footage. And I decided that since I'm beginning my new movie, which the title is just a working title called Through My Lens, The Plant Medicine Journey, and honoring the prisoners in there also, because nobody should be in jail for a plant, and the medicine has a purpose and a need on the planet. So that's what we're talking about right now, is that it's really interesting to be able to share with you, Rodimus, the fact that, hang on, I just lost my feed here. Hang on, there we go. Okay. I just wanted to share with you all that this company that does music called Play for Change. Do you remember Play for Change, Rodimus?
No, I don't.
Play for Change is the company that gets the Doobie Brothers song and writes to the song, and they go to India, Pakistan, Los Angeles, and San Francisco, and they have everybody singing the same song outdoors near the beach or in their native country, playing the sitar, singing a Doobie Brothers song. And then they put it together, they dance it together, and they make a video. Okay, so We Are the World, or this or that, or what's the Doobie Brothers song that everybody likes? It's all in the music. Anyways, they did a structure where they go all around the world, and then they make a movie. They make a music video of the guy playing sitar, singing a Doobie Brothers song, and then Ringo Starr's on the drums for the next scene, and then blah blah, and it's seamless and it's beautiful.
What do they do with it though? Like, what is the purpose of it?
They have about 200 of these songs, or 100 of these songs, called Play for Change, and Play for Change will take, for example, We Are the World, and then go to Bali, go to India, go to Mexico, and have mariachis playing We Are the World.
What's the change in Play for Change mean?
Through music, we can make a change, and that's what my concert's about. And so what I'm going to do with my movie, Through My Lens, The Plant Medicine Journey, is we're going to get the footage from this new gentleman that just said, yes, you can license my footage. I will give it to you, Jeffrey. And we're going to do shamans from all over the world with footage already in the can, and create a movie about plant medicine journeys that they'll allow us to use. And so make the first movie from filmmakers all over the world, so I don't have to fly to each place and take 3 years out of my life to make this next movie about plant medicine.
I can put you in touch with someone who about 10 years ago was producing a movie about global plant medicine use, a very serious filmmaker, and I think he did quite a bit of coverage around different places on the planet. I'm happy to put you in touch with him, and maybe there's something that he can participate in this with you, or you with him, or something.
To collaborate and make a play for change, play for change. It's really a cool thing. I'll send you a link later. Everybody, we're at the top of the hour. It's Weeds Day, episode 293.
You don't mean Richard Linklater, do you?
Richard Linklater?
Richard Linklater. I'm going to send you a link later, you said.
Hang on. Somebody's calling in. WTF, it's Joe Chronic, everybody.
Hey, what's up, my brother? Hey, do me a quick favor. Send me your address. I'm over here at FedEx. I'm going to send you some magazines, bro.
Okay, I'll send it to you right now. But say hello to Weeds Day. We're with Rodimus in France right now.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey. And we're going to make a difference. We're going to do the concert and the movie on plant medicine, right?
No, we're doing that. Yep. Sure.
Yep. And Mike Tyson's on the cover.
Send me your Addy, brother, right now, and then I'll call you guys back later.
Peace out. Bye.
All right, bye.
Okay, let me get in my address. Hang on. We'll get Joe. Hang on. So everybody, that was Joe Chronic from Chronic Magazine. We're connected, and we're going to make this happen, everybody. We're going to make this happen. Let's see. So Joe Chronic, let's go into there, and let's go. Boom.
Meanwhile, while you're doing that, I'm going to do a little song and dance number.
Okay.
Here, just to, all right. And entertaining people with the hands here, because, the hands are beautiful. And not that I have beautiful hands or anything like that, or I've even been to hand school. I don't really know if I have, but all I'm trying to do is create a little distraction while Jeffrey takes care of that business.
Okay, so I just did that. So everybody, that was Joe Chronic. Chronic's a big deal, okay? He's a big deal. And Mike Tyson's on the cover of his magazine. That could be
So if anybody ever doubted for a second when you were talking at the beginning of the show that you're involved with Joe Chronic, there's the proof.
Magic happens, baby. Magic happens, and the heart happens, everybody. How's your heart doing? How's your girlfriend?
That's my own business, Jeffrey, but I'm doing great. Thank you.
Well, I just want to know that you're happy, that
I am happy.
Okay.
Don't I look happy, Jeffrey?
You are, and you're having a great time with me today. I'm just being mindful of that we each have navigating a beautiful hemstress, or not a hemstress, a woman on the planet, that we're fulfilling our hearts and we're making the balance of life right now. And I like that you're dancing with somebody. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. I really feel blessed today for our show, everybody, and that we got some Howie Hobart in here. We got some Joe Chronic in here. We talked about the concert, and which needs to happen, and we're going to resurrect that. We got Kirk maybe back, if he wants to kick it in and he feels grounded. Well, I'm not opposed to that, right? Anybody that can help, and so on and so forth. And we got Rodimus on board right now. He's taking care of himself in France, and working with the organic beverage world over there. That's kind of cool. Cool.
There's only 10% of all of Champagne production. I live in the Champagne region of France, and I've gotten to know this particular very interesting beverage. And it's a natural beverage made from grape juice, and but only 10% of the 300 million bottles of champagne that are produced in this region every single year for export, mostly 300 million bottles are sold every year. Only less than 10% are actually produced organically. Monsanto came through here about 100 years ago and sold these farmers, these people growing grapes in their vineyards, all these chemicals, which made their life so much easier. You spray down this one thing, commonly known as Roundup, on the vineyard, and wow, you don't have to run your horse and your plow through the vineyard 5, 6, 7 times during the spring and summer when all these grasses and flowers are growing and robbing nutrients from what could otherwise be going into your vines. Yes, you spray this one chemical, and you don't have to do that horse and plow it, or later, tractor and all the fuel and all the time it takes. Anyway, so they became part of the industry. Well, about 55 years ago, my next door neighbor said, "No, I've been reading newspaper articles, and there's these are carcinogenic chemicals." And he said, "I'm going to stop using it. I'm stop using this stuff." And he made his life harder again, but he could sleep. He's 96 years old. He still works 4 to 5 days a week in the vineyards that are now owned by his granddaughter and her husband. He can't keep his hands and feet out of these steep vineyards where these grapes grow because he loves the plant so much. And he reads the newspaper every day without glasses at normal distance. 96, he's got a head of dark hair, a little salt flecks in it, and he's out there on his feet working his vines at 96 years old. lives right next door to me. Anyway, so yes, the organic movement, he's the one who started it, and it's caught on, but only 10%. So I'm really in love with this organic champagne. That's fantastic, tastes great.
I think that's 300,000 bottles.
300 million bottles.
No, 10%.
Oh, right, 300,000. Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's right. So 300,000.
Not bad.
bottles.
That's not bad.
Yeah, most of that stays in Europe. Very little of it ever gets exported. All that gets exported is this second grade, non-organic stuff that has these big names that I'm not going to say, that are the ones that you find in your supermarket or at your wine shop, and that have magazine ads and commercials on TV once in a while. Those are not organic, and they're not as tasty as the passionate crafters of champagne are. So come to France and check it out. I mean, it's a great beverage. It's lighter in alcohol than wine. It doesn't have tannins, and the people who are doing organic, it doesn't have sulfites in it either. So there you go.
So by being a quote unquote professional or expert in the champagne business, tell our public, sativa or indica. Tell us about champagne. Tinier bubbles, bigger bubbles, or sweeter or drier. Tell us a little bit about your knowledge. If you were to go to not the cannabis cup, but you were to go to the champagne cup, how would you judge? What is the judge?
It would be a champagne flute. Just kidding.
Okay.
No, so well, most people know the term. Most people
that was
know
my flute.
Most people know brut and extra brut, and what those terms mean is the amount of sugar that is added to each bottle of champagne at the very, very end of the process. Champagne goes through two interesting processes. First, it's juice turned into wine, and then those wines, which are kept in vats and in barrels, oak barrels, they're blended at a certain time of the year. They're blended into bottles. And when they put it into a bottle for the first time, from a vat or a barrel into a bottle, they add 24 grams of sugar, liquefied sugar per liter, and yeast. That goes in at the same time as the blended wines. And that goes into a bottle with a metal cap, not the cork that we enjoy opening, but a little metal cap. And then it goes into a cellar, and it sits underground at a constant temperature of about 51, 52 degrees Fahrenheit.
What's the deal with the metal cap?
With the steel metal cap, right? It's a hermetic seal, and it sits on its side in the dark, in the cool, consistent temperature, where the sugar takes about 15 months to eat through all the yeast takes 15 months to eat through all the sugar. That 24 grams of sugar that was put in during the bottling process is food for the yeast, and the yeast goes nom, 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 and it eats its way through that, and it farts and it farts and it farts. It's farting CO2. I'm sorry to be graphic, but it's eating. It's an organic process of the living yeast eating its way through its food supply, and it gets to the end of that at about 15 months, and it goes, where's my food? And it dies. It dies, and it stays dead inside the bottle for another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, however long the winemaker wants it to stay in there. And even after it's died, after the yeast is dead and the sugar is gone, it's still exchanging properties with that wine inside the bottle, in the dark, in the cool temperature. And that's what, the effervescence has happened already in the first 15 months, but flavors are brought out by the dead yeast interacting with the wine over the course of time, a long time.
Is that called tertiary?
No, that's just called second fermentation.
Okay.
First fermentation is where most of the alcohol happens, is that first vat or barrel fermentation where the juice has just been pressed, turns into wine. That's where most of the alcohol happens. Then when it gets bottled with the yeast, only 1% more alcohol happens over the course of, say, 4 years in the cellar. So very little alcohol. It's all about CO2, the yeast doing its thing on the sugar, and then continuing to inform the flavor of the wine inside the bottle. And then you have to get the yeast out. There's still yeast inside that bottle. It's sitting there flat, and it has to be got
in every bottle?
Every single bottle And then at the end of that, when you open that, when you disgorge the yeast and all the yeast comes flying out, now you have a clear bottle of champagne. There is absolutely no sugar. It's the driest wine or bubbly wine, sparkling wine it can be. And you then have to give it a little dosage of sugar. That little dosage is called the dosage, and that is what determines whether it's going to be a brut or an extra brut, which is less sugar, or now something called brut nature, which is happening. Brut nature is no sugar added whatsoever at the end of the process, and then it gets the cork and the cage over the cork, and even then it's not ready for sale. You have to let that sit for another 3 months while it homogenizes with all the additional sugar put in at the end, and then it's ready for sale at the very end of that process. So it's a very long, interesting crafting, and there's many variations of flavors that can happen. People just think champagne is champagne is champagne. Well, yeah, that's what gets sold in the States, but if you find a small, wine merchant or wine shop who deals in some of these off brands, buy a name of a champagne you've never heard of before, and it will taste way better than the big brands that you've been used to. And it's yummy. And then there's all kinds of ways how to combine that with certain foods. And it's much better to drink champagne with food because it's less alcohol, so it doesn't overwhelm the flavor of the food. It dances with food in your mouth for a lot longer. And once I learned about that, I was like, wow, I can never have wine again with a meal. I much prefer a particular blend of champagne or another, with depending on the type of food I'm having, whether I'm having fish or cheese or pasta or something heavier. There's different champagnes that go perfectly with these food groups. And again, you have to explore that to learn about it, but it's a gastronomic epiphany when you do it right.
Everybody, Rodimus is talking about sativa and indica in the champagne world.
There you go.
And so that's really cool. In marijuana world, I know that the connoisseurs, not the connoisseurs, but most everybody in the book of hemp, marijuana, and hashish, there's a way to trim your bud, but before you trim your bud, you take it off the plant. The stalk is used for something else if you do that, and then you hang it in the dark, and then you put it in the jar, and then you burp your jar for 2 or 3 months, and as that goes, the terpenes get brighter and stronger and more smooth. It's not where you smoke right out of the plant, you pull it off the plant, start smoking it, you'll cough and go bananas, and it's not as subtle, it's not as beautiful. So those people that are making that plant, that industry, that champagne the way that they do in the marijuana world is not unlike the champagne story that we just got for Rodimus. So thank you, Rodimus, for schooling us on another industry that is working on getting organic product out to the world.
You're welcome. Yeah, there's a lot more to it. I just barely scratched the surface. But yeah.
That's pretty cool, And so I had a story from my friend Pat Vieira from Cuba last night, and she said, I never liked Dom Perignon, never. And what is it, $300-$400 a bottle, whatever, it doesn't matter. She said, I always liked Cristal better. I always liked and she lives in the wine country, and she works at a winery being their chef for the last 3 years, and she loves it. Okay, little Cuban gal, my buddy from LA. Okay, she said she got gifted by a trust fund baby a bottle of Dom Perignon 2018, 2012, whatever it was, a few weeks ago, and she cracked it.
It was 2012. There's no 2018 yet.
Okay, so anyways, it was told to me last night. She was telling me this. She said, and I sat down, and in her sweet little accent, she just said, I'm now a Dom Perignon fan. That she loved it, and it was different, and her favorite wine experience she ever had in her whole freaking life.
Okay, so you need to put us in touch, because I need to invite her to come here, because once she discovers that you can find champagnes that are better than Dom Perignon for a fraction of the cost of Dom Perignon, then she will be even more amazed and enlightened and happy to find out that you can ship to your house in the US champagne directly from the makers here, and it costs less than if you bought that same bottle in the store, and it's better than what you can buy in the store.
So you can buy a $60 bottle that tastes like a $600 bottle or better.
Correct. That is correct.
And so everybody,
it costs $60 to get it delivered to your house.
Wait, everybody, a Rolex watch still tells the same time as my Timex.
Yeah, but sorry, that analogy does not work. No, champagne is not champagne is not champagne. There are champagnes, and then there are wow champagnes, and they're not expensive. So
yeah, my sister gave me a Cristal once, and it had flowers all painted on the bottle and blah blah blah. And
that would have been Perrier-Jouët.
Yeah, okay. And anyways, Perrier-Jouët, Cristal, whatever it was, it did have tiny bubbles, and it was excellent, and it did make me feel different than anything I've ever drank before. So I do.
Its own particular, but that's the other thing. Since we're talking about buzzes here a little bit, yes, you know why champagne has a unique buzz to it? Why the high is different than wines and other spirits? Because the grapes are grown completely differently than in other wine regions of the world. It's only in this particular very narrow band of real estate on the hillsides of these three mountains in this region here in northern France. They're grown very low to the ground. They're almost like bonsai. Each of the vines is a little tiny plant because you have to grow the grapes really tightly bundled and really small, and then they have to be pressed a particular type of way in a certain kind of press to let the clear juice that's on the inside of the grape become the wine that becomes champagne. If you crush the grape, you're going to get pigmentation, you're going to get tannins from the skin. And what makes champagne so interesting is it's the juice from the very inside and none of the juice from the skin, which is where the pigment and all that harsher flavors come from. So it's a more refined juice to begin with. And then that gets turned into wine and all this other process that it goes through to bring out some ancient flavors that are from, wow, I guess it gets very deep, literally. The roots here, the roots of a grapevine go very, very deep into the earth. And here in this area, just below the surface of the earth is a completely different than the topsoil. Topsoil is nice and brown. You can grow all kinds of crops in the topsoil the first 3 feet. But after that, it becomes extremely deep aggregate of chalk, limestone, and clay. Chalk, limestone, and clay, because this entire region of France was once the bottom of the ocean for millions of years, 35, 30, 40, 45, 50 million years of ocean bottom. Now, how many times during 30 to 40 million years do you think there was an ice age? Our ice age was just 10,000 years ago. How about in 40 million years, how many times was there an ice age, followed by a tropical age, followed by another ice age, followed by another tropical age? And those plants that grew during those tropical periods, they got washed down the rivers. Then, the trees fell over, the fruit fell into the river and got washed down and became part of the ocean bottom. And these plants are literally going into that stuff from millions of years ago, pulling nutrients and elements from a tropical age, and so it becomes part of the fruit, that's turned into champagne. So if you know what you're doing and you grow things properly and you process them properly without stomping on them with a bunch of chemicals, it's not just the chemicals that are in the growing part, it's also in the making of the wine that a lot of chemicals are also used. And there are some people who are not doing any chemical processing, and you have the pure juice that's coming out of those grapes that becomes a champagne. And it tastes amazing. All right, that's enough.
So tell me about hang on, let me be sure that I got Joe Chronic his
oh yes,
his
you should have been doing that while I was talking.
No, I know I got it to him, but I don't know if I got it to him in hang on.
You know what? Even the top of your head is attractive, Jeffrey. So if I put my hands in there and play with that air. Zhuzh. I'm
Okay.
zhuzhing your hair, Jeffrey.
So here we go. So free the hair, everybody. We're on episode 293. We're going over the time because we're talking about plants. We're talking about the subtlety of the earth and what we know and the knowledge and the lineage, the family members of the plants and the whole thing that makes everything grow, that makes everything flow into the higher state of that, what Lawrence Cherniak, the Hash King, would say, the subtlety of that marijuana plant. Also, it's the soil, it's the sunlight, and it's what we've learned makes that experience at the end when you drink it or smoke it better. So I was talking about that smoke, that is the terpenes and the way that you can take a really big hit, which I did the other day, of some really beautiful. Let's see, I thought I had some here.
Yeah. We believe you. We believe you.
No, but this is what got me kicked off of Facebook. But
oh, good. You won't get kicked off because you can't see anything inside that jar because it's totally greening out with your green screen.
Yeah, but can you smell that, everybody? So anyway,
yeah, I can smell it.
But anyway, so the deal is that the way that you cure anything, including a cold or your heart pain, is the way that I smoked something. I smoked this stuff, which is brand new, and I could take a deep hit, and I didn't cough.
Wow. Cool, man.
I didn't cough because it was a different cure. It was a different strain, and it felt incredibly good. And I don't smoke that much, everybody.
I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
I know that Jeffrey. People think Jeffrey's a pothead. He's not a pothead. You fools out there who make that assumption about Jeffrey, you are wrong.
But I do have chronic solutions, So we're here at Weeds Day, everybody, episode 293. We're going to hit 300 this year. We're going to get a concert going. We're going to celebrate when Rodimus comes to visit us. Maybe he'll live in the motorhome for a minute. And the idea is to love your family, love your children, love the animals. Be careful with your energy and your intake of greasy, grimy gopher guts.
Ew. Yeah, I won't be doing any of those, Jeffrey.
Do you know that song?
No. You know fish heads? You know fish heads? You know fish heads?
Roly poly.
You know fish heads?
Roly poly fish heads.
Fish heads.
Roly
Eat them
poly.
up. Yum. All right, yes, okay. There you go. All right. Dr. Demento.
Greasy, grimy gopher guts. And what was the one with the jelly between your toes?
Don't know that one either, Jeff. Is that a summer camp song you learned?
Oh man, before this guy in Topanga Canyon, Wally was incredible. He was a Native American guy. He was my friend in Topanga, and we talked about him the other day because Deborah Lindquist down in LA. She told me, yeah, she lived with Wally, and we used to have campfires in Topanga. And Wally and I were going to do a campfire album just about campfire songs. Jada, 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 jing, jing, jing. And we were going to, I mean, what's your favorite campfire song? Camp song?
Oh, God. Oh, man. Beep Bilioten Doten Bobos Geditten Daten.
Water touch. Yeah, we were on the bus going to camp and singing all of those songs, So may the circle not be unbroken, everybody. May we all unify at a concert. May we all in my lifetime come together. Buy my t-shirts that are going to come out pretty soon, and they're gonna support the concert happening, and that money is going to go directly to the prisoner fund, and we're going to help Freedom grow. We're going to help Amy Pova and her foundation, and we're going to help all the foundations get the money to where it needs to go so these people we can pay them back for being in jail, everybody. So when Eddie Lepp was alive, he was in jail for 40 tons, and he came out and he had rainbow pants on, just like me. He had rainbow pants on, and he freaking talked to me, and I have this footage somewhere, and we'll put it in my next movie. But he freaking talked to me. He said, "You put me in jail. You put my family in jail."
Good night, Jeffrey.
I'm done with my show today, everybody. We did it. We did it with the Rodhead. And thank you so much for coming on today. And everybody, we're going to roll out of here with a soft, gentle goodbye to Rodimus. Rodimus, I'm going to say goodbye to my YouTube people when I go off air here. And Hemp Hemp Hooray, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen here. No outro today because we've got Schedule 3. That's weed. That's the weed sign. Did that get me kicked off of Facebook? I don't think so. But look at your eyeball painting. That's a beauty. That's a beauty. Yeah. Well, Hemp Hemp Hooray. And
that's the universe seeing itself. See, it's the eye looking at, oh, look, manifestation. The manifestation is going, oh, look, it's God. But wait, it's not God. They're both, it's the same. It's the same thing. Okay.
So Michael Jackson said, beat it, everybody. Let's beat it, okay? And make some scrambled eggs and beat it. Love you, everybody. Peace out in the Middle East. And thank you, Rodimus, for joining us today. Peace out. Hemp Hemp Hooray.
Recording stopped.
So I'm going to come back here, everybody. I'm still on live on this platform called StreamYard. So we're going to get out of here. And here we are, here, everybody. We're streaming here, and let's see if we got any messages here. Time keeps on slipping into the future. I'm gonna fly like an eagle to the sea. Banners, comments. Here we go. Okay. So no comments today to read to you, but we had a great show, and thank you, Justiva, today for supporting us, and the Cannabis Film Festival is coming, and we love you all, everybody. Peace in the Middle East and in your heart, and we're going to end our stream 3. It's not 3, 2, 1, Schedule 1 anymore. It's 3, 2, 3. 3 is weed, 2 is peace, and 3 again. 3, 2, 3. Because Schedule 3 is here. Let's figure it out, everybody. How to end prohibition and bring the prisoners home. Love you all. Peace in the Middle East. Episode 293 is a wrap.